The ordinary architect? In the realm one dimension over, a luminous grand council watched the blue-green marble called Earth. Worry lines, invisible to the eye but heavy in the spirit, creased the brow of the counselor. Sinara, they are adrift, she sighed, the sound like distant chimes. Our last missions, the prophets, the divine messengers, they fractured humanity instead of uniting it. The Earthers fought over who was right, instead of applying what was true. Sinara pointed to a new strategy projection. We must stop sending promises of golden cities and heavenly rewards. We must send tools. Logic, applied physics, the skill of empathetic listening, the knowledge of sustainable systems. The helpers will incarnate, ordinary and nameless, armed only with competence. The council chamber hummed in hesitant agreement. On Earth, in a city choked with the fumes of urgency, a man named Omar shelved books in a quiet corner of the public library. He was a helper. He looked like everyone else, tired, hopeful, and slightly rumpled. But inside, his mind was a perfectly organized database of practical solutions. He didn't preach, he merely fixed. The first test came from his neighbor, a woman struggling with mounting debt. It's not fate, it's flow, Omar said, sitting with her at her cluttered kitchen table. He didn't offer a loan. Instead, he simply drew 2 columns, input and output. He showed her how to apply basic systems analysis to her budget. The neighbor's eyes widened as the variables became visible. Her problem wasn't insurmountable, it was just poorly organized. Thank you. You're a guru, a genius, she exclaimed. Omar gently shook his head. I am just Omar. The method is the master, not me. Teach this method to the next person who asks. The skill is free. Later, at the shared community garden, 2 groups were fighting over contaminated soil, each blaming the other's political faction for the runoff. Omar, without taking a side, simply took soil samples. He brought them back with lab results, proving the source was a broken common pipe, not a political plot. His impartial, data-driven solution calmed the waters and fixed the pipe. A young person, Kai, who had been watching the whole spectacle, approached him. Why do you always focus on the evidence, not the blame? Kai asked. Because blame is an emotion, Omar replied, handing Kai a small shovel. Evidence is a lever. Emotion makes you fight. A lever lets you lift. In the high realm, Sinara watched as the Omar cluster of logical solutions began to multiply. The methods are being shared without the helper being worshipped, she observed to the Grand Council. They are adopting the skill, not the identity. It is decentralized, unattached, and thus uncorruptible. Kai's next challenge was a messy school debate. Remembering Omar's lesson, Kai focused the discussion not on who felt most strongly, but on defining the terms and validating the data. The debate ended not in fury, but in a compromise, a rare event in that city. Omar simply smiled when he heard the news. The helpers are still here, disguised as the ordinary citizen, the quiet accountant, the pragmatic teacher, the kind bus driver. They are not waiting to lead humanity to a higher realm with a bang, but teaching them to build the bridge there with the small, solid bricks of logic, empathy, and truth, one quiet, applied skill at a time.